Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Toon Review for tonight's Bournemouth versus Newcastle match preview, and of course, all the latest news. And boy, oh boy, it just seems to be a roller coaster of different players at the minute, piping up for Newcastle United. But we'll get into that. It is the four of us tonight. My name is Paul, and I'm joined by Alex, Billy, and of course, Lady Sam. And if you do enjoy tonight's show, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and, of course, subscribe if you're new and you like what you see. Fantastic community we have here on the Toon Review. And, of course, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload or a live show. And, of course, you can support the channel in two ways. The first one being the channel membership. You can just hit the join button underneath us. And we are going to be giving away some great stuff in the build-up to deadline day as well, and all through deadline day. So we'll have some fantastic prizes for our members as well. And, of course, you can donate to the channel via Super Chat, which is the $ at the bottom of the live chat. And that will guarantee your comment to be read out on the show. Good evening, colleagues.
Good evening, and good evening to all those in Viewerland.
And apart from me, are the rest of us fighting fit?
Absolutely.
I'm tipsy. I'm feeling great.
Oh, dear God. Sam stands up. And, of course, you know, I've been partaking in a few beverages today. So God knows what's going to come out of Sam's mouth tonight, but we will wait and see. However, we will start off with all the different crazy news that's going around with Newcastle United. And those of you that haven't seen the earlier news show that I did, Kieran Trippier was the main talking point. Of course, it looks like he is now about to leave Newcastle United. Look, whatever we say about Trippier, it's a bit sad, really, because he's been absolutely fantastic for Newcastle United ever since the day he set foot in the club. He's led by example, both on and off the pitch. Listen, if he wants to go for footballing reasons and to play first-team football at his stage in his career, then that is absolutely fantastic. Of course, the mongers out there are saying, oh, it's because Bruno's took the captaincy, or he's not happy with first-team football. Maybe he's not happy with first-team football, and at this stage in his career, that's what he wants. Harry Austin, thank you for being a member for an incredible 28 months. Happy birthday, Scott, and thank you to all of the Toon Review. Time and effort for all you do for the shows for us here in the US of A. Sam, it's sad about Trippier. I mean, we've speculated all summer that this might happen, or he might depart for pastures new, and it looks like that's going to be the case.
Certainly, and I think we will all send him great wishes wherever he goes next. It would definitely hurt if it was another Premier League club, in my opinion. I think he's been our talisman, really, like signalling in the new era, the takeover. He came on reduced wages for the position that we were in as a club, and helped us turn that round, and had faith and became an integral part of that leadership team on and off the pitch. So yeah, if he wants to go for any reason, be it footballing reasons, speculation over that, it's not ours to call if there's personal reasons involved, but I certainly wish him well personally.
And Billy, it looks like the main contenders to get him are the blue half of Merseyside, who are looking like getting a loan deal for him, although Galatasaray and Atalanta have been mentioned as well. Do you think he'd probably stay in the Premier League?
I guess he'd like to. Personally, as a Newcastle United fan, I'd sooner see him not play in the Premier League. I'd sooner see him get a full-time move somewhere abroad and maybe get more money for it. If he goes on loan to Everton, are we going to be still paying his wages? That's the question we've got to ask, which kind of defeats the object for me. Yeah. I know he wants to move to first-team football, but, I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, he's still part of our squad, and if the move doesn't suit us, then surely we keep him. I know he's a legend at the club. He'll always be remembered as a fantastic player, the first signing of the new era, the player that came for less money to a club that hadn't won the league the year before, as he had at Atletico. And he's been brilliant for us. Definitely on a downturn. And so we've had the best of him, but hopefully he can go on and finish his career somewhere nicely and maybe win a trophy or two abroad.
Kushula Kush is led by example on and off the pitch, a issue, and not from what I hear, wouldn't want him as a role model. Listen, I'm talking footballing reasons. Whatever's going on in Kieran Trippier's personal life is now to do with us. I'm talking about the impact he's had on and off the pitch for footballing reasons, right? The way he led by example on the pitch, the way he was always there. You know, when you saw videos of new players coming in, who was the first one on camera to greet these players and give them a big welcome to the club? It was Trippier. I don't care what's gone on in his personal life. That's none of our business.
And what you're quoting is facts, Paul. What you just said there is facts. What the Kush has mentioned is rumours. So
it's rumours. Yeah. We're not bothered. It's football and reasons that I'm talking about, and I will stick by football and reasons. I'm not bothered about his personal life. It's nothing to do with us. Steve Mallam, who's been a member for 25 months. Thank you for your ongoing support, Steve. Trips was our first statement signing. Definitely deserves our love and respect no matter what happens. And that's the case, Alex, because when he came to the club, we were in a relegation zone. He was the first major signing under the new regime. And, you know, he was one of the major forces for us to get out of relegation and get qualification in the Champions League.
Yeah, he's been a fantastic player. He took a risk joining us with his own career because there was obviously a lot of talk about him potentially joining Man United. I think in his interview he said he could have done. So that was massive that he chose us, and he's been fantastic for us. He's managed to progress us into a club that's now trying to challenge for European places, because that's what we are now. We're a club trying to challenge for top four. That's what we want to be every season. I completely disagree with Kush's message as well. I think that's ridiculous. I think if you're basing opinions on what you hear, that's ridiculous. And in my opinion, that's the wrong opinion. And I know people don't like, everybody's allowed their opinions, fine, whatever. But in that case, we'd rather deal in facts on the Toon review. And I think that's a bit harsh considering we've got people at the club like Joe Linton who got a drink drive charge and suddenly everybody's forgotten about that. You've got Grealish who got in trouble left, right and centre, but everybody loves him because he does charity work and stuff like that. There are people with pasts. There are people who have done things wrong. I guarantee half the people in the chat now have probably got points on a licence or something. Everybody does things wrong. Where do you draw the line? Again, arbitrary lines in sand, guys. His personal life is his personal life. Yeah. It's none of our business, and he's been great for the club, and he's progressed us. So we'll be forever grateful for it.
We're a football. At the end of the day, it's a football channel. We talk about the football and impact. We're not a counselling channel or anything like that, or a news channel which delves in rumours. Kieran, thank you for being a member for 5 months. When Trippier came to Newcastle United, took a pay cut to help the team. How many players will take a pay cut? Yes, exactly. Ronald, thank you very much for your super chat. I saw you on Big Jet TV today. Yes, I was. So thank you, Ronald. And Robert Hepworth, thank you for your super chat. And he simply says, good evening. Right. So listen, it'll be a sad if Trippier leaves.
Can I ask a question, Paul? Because I've been busy today. Obviously, I've seen this. Craig Hope has dropped an article and stuff. Is this 100% confirmed, or is this just it appears
every news media's covered it?
Sky Sports News, are they not just all repeating what Craig Hope has originally posted?
I don't know, but listen, they've obviously got it from somewhere. When the
I'm not saying it's wrong.
No, it may. At the end of the day, we'll just see what happens. I would assume, and I said this in my news video earlier on, that if this is the case, then I would think that this will be done rather quickly. If somebody shows interest and Trippier wants to go, then it will happen.
It's a lot all out of nowhere, isn't it? We've not had a lot of news.
Well, it isn't. It isn't, because we look back to, we discussed this last night, Alex, of course, Trippier not coming on as a substitute at the weekend.
It's not just that, though. It's not just that. It's Barnes being frustrated. And again, it's Craig Hope sitting on information. And again, look, respect to Craig Hope. I don't know you. I've never spoken to you, Craig, but we've had no real decent news in the last few days. And then miraculously we get 3-4 bits of brand new information.
That's normally what happens with Newcastle, though, isn't it?
But where's that? Is somebody kind of called up Craig at 4 o'clock in the morning and go, Barnes is getting a bit.
Well, I wouldn't say it like that. It would be like a whisper.
But do you know what I mean? It just
be out there about the side of the mouth, wouldn't it?
Yeah, this is what's happening. Barnes.
You get 3 or 4 brand new pieces of information. That's not how real life works. You get different things said to you. Like again, and I could be completely wide of the mark. And if that is exactly how it's gone down, so apologies to Craig Hope. massively. But I just feel like it's just weird timing. We've gone from 2 or 3 days of nobody's got diddly squat on anything, nothing, no news, to here's 4 massive things that we've just found out. Really? I don't know. I find it a bit weird.
What's Harvey Barnes stuff then? I've not even heard.
Oh, well, apparently Harvey Barnes is frustrated because he didn't start on Saturday. He felt, apparently the report said that Harvey Barnes feels like his form and the way he's playing should have been good enough to start the game against Southampton. Now,
Harvey, you're at Newcastle, you're not at Leicester anymore. Do better.
I completely disagree with that. If Harvey Barnes has said that, and it's a big if.
But where's he got that from, though?
I don't know.
Journalists got this from.
I honestly don't know.
Maybe he said it at the barbecue.
Well, because Harvey's presumably not. The game was on Saturday. Has he been ringing around telling his agent and his best mates and everything, grumbling and rumbling for? How does this get out so quickly?
Well, I don't know.
Do we have a leak? Like it feels a bit weird to me.
Oh, really not another molies. No. Ray Fagan, thank you for your super sticker. That's your first donation to the channel as well. Thank you, Ray. And we have a new member on Mondays. It's not a member on, but that's his username, by the way, on Mondays. So welcome to the membership family. It's bizarre. The whole thing is bizarre. And then I saw that about Harvey Barnes today, and I thought, Jesus Christ. And then to top it off, you see now reports that apparently we've agreed personal terms with Willie Gnonto at bloody Leeds. I mean...
we didn't load the coat hooks.
Well, we've gone from... he's not the tallest. I think he might be smaller than Alex, We
had a high chair installed in the dining room.
Well,
I don't want him at the club, not at all.
Yeah.
He threw his toys out the pram.
The no dickheads policy doesn't kind of work with Wilfred Gnonto.
When they got relegated,
and Raheem Sterling, I still don't believe Sterling. I think Sterling would,
I wouldn't mind Sterling, but Gnonto refused to play for Leeds when they went down.
Yeah.
Not a chance. We don't want anybody like that. What if we have a bad season? We don't want people who are just going to down tools and throw their toys out the pram. No, they need to play football.
Trips' name has been taken off St James's Park private box. That is confirmed, by the way.
Is it actually?
Yes. That is confirmed. His name has gone. But again, that could be for any different reason. It could be rescribing it or cleaning it up or whatever. It's all ifs and buts. Yvonne said he's a Bury boy, so he's almost going back home, and why not? We all like to spread our wings and then fly back home.
Not if we're flying back to Blue Liverpool.
Well, okay.
I think he wants to play for Barnsley again, doesn't he, at some point?
Why?
Pedro thinks he's fell out with Eddie Howe.
Oh, nah.
Obviously, there's so many different rumours kicking around. I mean, listen, I found it strange. I must admit, I found it strange that he was in the under-21s. I really did.
That was strange.
I said it last night, Sam. Obviously, you weren't on the show last night, but I said that, it was weird because every time that Kieran's come back from an injury in the past with us, he's never played in the under-21s for match fitness. And then suddenly he's in the under-21 team the other night. I don't get it.
It's different. It's different scenario, though, isn't it? We just had pre-season where he's finished the Euros.
Christ, Sam, your voice has deepened.
45 minutes since he's only had 45 minutes since the Euros. It's the beginning of the season. He needs minutes in his legs.
You keep beating that drum, Paul, and I agree with Billy. I think it's normal that he's done that.
Well, I don't, but it's all about
I'm not so sure on this one.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? Go on, Sam.
Yeah, I think it's strange. I think had the rest of the rumour mill not been churning around Trips, then you're absolutely right. I would have absolutely bought he needs minutes in his legs, extended break after the Euros. Like he played the majority of the Euros, granted. But given the other rumours in the gravity of Trips right now, I've got a tendency to believe that it is odd and there is a move on the cards.
I think there's a move on the cards. I generally do. But again, there's only 7 days and a bit left of the transfer window.
Let's look at it the other way. If there was a move on the cards, why would they risk him in an under-21 fixture?
Well, there's that flip side of the coin as well, Billy. Absolutely.
In a derby under-21s as well. I'm sure there'll be a couple of young Mackhams who'd love to snap Trippier.
Yeah, well, Absolutely. I can see both sides. You know, it's a good talking point, to be honest.
I know it's not Friday as well, but can I just mention something about this window? I have started to fall into that category with a lot of people where I'm so bored of this window now. I hate it. I love football, and I absolutely love football transfers, scouting, new players, the sales, the tactics. It's what I live for. I absolutely love it. I live and breathe it. And this is just turning into a soap opera. It's rumors. It's arguments. It's literally just like a bad Netflix show that people watch for drama. And
but like you, Alex, right? I don't know Craig
boring.
Hope, right? But Craig Hope in the past has been a little bit controversial with some, shall we say, negative reporting.
Again,
which has got a lot of.
But it could be true. It could be completely true. So and it's not Craig's fault or any of the journalists. Well, I mean, it may be. I hope it's not. I hope there's some professionalism and it's all spot on. I'm gonna suggest that it is, hopefully. But it's just frustrating because in the previous windows, we were looking at the Tonali and the Isak and who's the next big, the young star? Who is he going to fit into the system? And now it's just talking about affairs and hotels, and I don't care. I mean,
Kev makes a very good point here, but that what gets me is that these articles can turn fans against the player.
Yeah, and it's and I agree.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's not good for the fan base. It's not good for the players. It's not good for the squad harmony. We've got a game to win on Saturday. We've got a game to win. We need everybody on the same page, everybody confident. If this throws people off 2%,
it's Sunday, mate.
Is it Sunday? We've got a game on Sunday, everyone. Don't go there on Saturday or you'll be in Bournemouth on the wrong day. Yeah, it's just not needed. It's so much.
I mean, the Harvey Barnes article, that one. I mean, we have, as people know, we are very honest on this channel and wear our hearts on our sleeves. Harvey Barnes has not done enough for me to dictate that he should be starting. And this is one of those articles that can turn fans. The thing is, though, if it's true, how dare he come out with that? You know what I mean?
But if it's true, it's true. But the problem is, we can't have stuff like that getting out. It's trivial. We can't have. This is what presumably the first time Barnes has gotten frustrated, because he can't have been frustrated with being second fiddle to Gordon last season because Gordon was fantastic.
Maybe he is frustrated though that he didn't start the game.
But game one,
taken out of context.
From game one, you can't get frustrated at game one. You didn't get picked over Anthony Gordon. That's childish. And again, we don't even know if this is true. So I could be waffling on for no reason. This might not even be true. But wherever this is coming from, we need to stop all this information getting out because fine, the journalists have got a job to do, but it's whipping up a big fuss and it's chaos and everybody's losing their minds and it's people.
To be honest, guys, I'm just expecting a news breaking tonight that Ryan Fraser's made up with Eddie Howe and he plays right wing on Sunday. It wouldn't surprise me if I sort of read something like that. In fact, I might put that out. Gordon Bennett, it's unbelievable.
It is, but let's put this into context. If we get to the end of this transfer window and at midnight, if we're sat here rubbing our hands together with the signings that we want, with the big marquee, with the centre back, with the right wing, and then if we get to the end of the season in a top 4 place with championship football, are we going to remember all of this bullshit that's been going around? Probably not. Yeah, it's frustrating as hell right now, but this is unfortunately the media clickbait bullshit that people are having to do to talk and sell newspapers now. It's ridiculous. So
you don't need it though. You don't need it. There's nearly 1,700 people here watching us, and we don't. But they don't. They don't. We've moved. The world's moved on. We've got 1,700 people watching right now, and we are a channel who tries to only talk about the facts and real announcements, and we try not to over speculate because it's nonsense. So there's enough people. There's nearly 2,000 people watching who don't want misinformation and they don't want rumors. They want to try and figure out what the truth is, and that's what we try and do as well.
To be honest, so obviously they're talking about Gahey on Sky Sports News. I'm going to go off mute a minute.
All right, man. The thing is, football is about conversation and chat, and that's what we do on here. Last night's show we had a good hour of just football chat. We're looking at Bournemouth in the second half of the show tonight. It's all about different opinions and football chat, and that's what we like doing. But when you see ridiculous things, it's
fundamentally football is about football.
Well,
we're not getting that.
All right, Mike
that's
alone.
the problem, though. I think for me, the integrity of football in the media, mainstream media, has been compromised. And you're absolutely right, Alex, because there is a space for it. And that's why so many people are tuning into channels like ours, are turning to YouTube, where people are having fan-based opinions. You know, we do try our very best here to make sure that we're basing what we are talking about in fact, but we do report in whatever's in the media as well. But the fundamental fact of the matter is, to have clicks, to get those adverts in, integrity of football has been compromised in the media. But you're absolutely right. That's why people are turning here.
Yeah, we're not saying, you know, whenever we do these news shows or about what's in the media, it's not to say it's happening. It's to chat to you guys about it. And that's why I always say on the recorded shows, put in the comments down below what you think. Have a discussion about it. It's not us telling you that, oh, there's a report, this is happening. All we're doing is feeding back these reports to you guys out there, and creating conversation. Because that's what it's all about.
100%.
Dan, thank you very much for your super chat. In the note, TTR says, phrase at the start of the game on Saturday. Oh, dear Christ.
He can start his Saturday, to be fair.
Yeah, it'll be Sunday. Well, yeah, he can start Saturday on his own. Martin Brophy, a member for 10 months. Thank you for your support, Martin. What's your thoughts on the 4 to 5 players in the last year of contracts, and what would you do? I think that's for another show, to be honest, Martin. I think closer to the time we'll obviously discuss that, because that may change. There may well be new deals given to certain players, and certain players won't get deals, and they'll be off to pastures new. That's generally how it works. But we normally do that later on in the season when we look at whose contracts are running down. Would we re-sign them? Would we not? So that comes into play in the second half of the season.
I think we did a recent show on that, didn't we? Of who's in the final year and who's in the final 2 years of their contract. I'm pretty sure we did a recent show on that.
Billy, anything on Gay?
No, they said they were going to talk about Newcastle after the break. They came back in, and it was Jadon Sancho, and then they went into Chelsea. So I thought, sod that, I'm not listening to that nonsense.
Oh, well, just keep an eye on it just in case. I mean, you never know. Simon says, being frustrated is fine as long as he proves his point on the pitch, not in the papers. Yeah, but this is exactly what I mean. People will start saying, well, Harvey Barnes this, Harvey Barnes that. I think, look, if he's turned around to a reporter and said, yeah, I was frustrated that I didn't start on Saturday, fine. There's a lot of players going to be frustrated that they're not in the starting 11. It could well have been taken completely out of context, but the way it came across on X, as I read it, was, well, Harvey Barnes is kicking up a stink because he didn't start the game, and he feels that his form deserves it. His form doesn't deserve it. He hasn't done enough to get certainly ahead of Anthony Gordon. Now, Eddie may change it up on Sunday. He may put Gordon right wing and Harvey Barnes left. You just never know. But as it stands now, it's becoming a bit of a. I mean, it is a circus. Newcastle United is always a circus. It's a roller coaster ride, and
have to start on Sunday either, because with how much Anthony Gordon has proven himself, you can't drop him after one performance that was a little bit more.
No, but he may put Gordon right, is what I'm saying, Alex. He may just.
But why does Murphy deserve to be dropped?
Well, Murphy doesn't, because obviously, well,
there you go.
Nobody was good in the first 20 minutes, were they? But Murphy's attitude, you just can't.
You've got to earn a start. I'm sorry, but doing well against Girona is not forcing your way into the Premier League starting 11 for me. That's or doing well in the Cellar Cup.
Yeah, but it's typical of the media, right? The media always target Newcastle United, don't they? We know that, especially the Southern media. They like to get involved in it and make out that Newcastle United is always this disjointed football club. Quite frankly, it's us fans and the football club against the Southern media. So piss off Southern
100%.
media.
They've fanned the flames of discontent, and now they're just trying to carry on with it, really.
Michael McIntyre, thank you for your £10 super chat. Hi all, Toon. Right, let's move on, shall we, to concentrate on the game on Sunday, because it is a big game. They're all big games. Ian Heron's just said, R.I.P. Albert Heron, aged 80, a lifelong Toon supporter until the end. R.I.P. Albert. Thoughts and prayers go to his family. So, Sunday, Bournemouth away. I'm not so sure because I haven't seen Bournemouth in pre-season. I'm not sure what to expect of them, Alex. They did okay last season. They stabilised in the Premier League again, and this could be a tough game. Or are you going for another 5-0?
No, I'm the opposite. I'm really scared of this one.
Okay,
I am quite scared of this fixture, especially now Fabian Schar out as well. I'm a little bit concerned. The fact that we've got Hall and Livramento has me a little bit more confident, but they're still young, and like we said the other day, they will make mistakes, and people have got to be careful not to get too much on their backs. I saw quite a lot of talk about Livramento on Twitter today, about Livramento's ready. He's amazing. He's fantastic. He'll play every game. I think people were getting themselves whipped up into a bit of a frenzy about how good Livramento is. He's not the finished article yet. I think people are massively running away with Tino Livramento. I would urge people to maybe be careful. He shows all the signs that he's going to be a fantastic player, but he does miss time tackles. He's not always positioning in the right place, and he's still learning. So I don't want people to overhype him and then crucify him when he makes a mistake, because he will. We can't put him too much on a pedestal. Same with Lewis Hall. We've got to be careful with these youngsters. Same thing I said with Lewis Miley 12 months ago. They're young. They will make mistakes. They are learning, especially in defensive positions. Anyway, sorry, I waffled too much there on Tino. Bournemouth. I'm terrified of Bournemouth. I'll explain it when we put the screen share up, but I'm actually terrified. They've recruited phenomenally well. I appreciate they've
really
lost
good players, by the way.
Dom Solanke, but they are so well rounded.
Yeah.
I'll wait for you to put screen shares up.
I think Kush has got out the wrong side of the bed today. If we lose Sunday, then Eddie needs to go.
After one loss of the season? Yeah.
Dean says every game is a tough game, but we have enough to slap the cherries silly. Well, not with their recruitment, and let's be honest. Sam, we didn't play very well before the sending off on Saturday. We expected a really good, strong start to the game, and quite frankly, we were all over the place. So we've got to put the starts right.
We did well to come away with the result and the points that we did. So yeah, I would love to see a high press and high physical energy and presence. Mm-hmm. Are we going to get it? Because we are slow out of the blocks. We were the same last season. And, last weekend, we were punished severely for it, even before going down to 10 men. So I think Alex is right. This is going to be a really, really difficult game for us. We need Gordon to be on point and playing in his preferred position as well.
Yeah. Billy, it's a small ground, isn't it, down there? And it's at the Vitality, the 12,000 seater or something. But Bournemouth have always played good football. Whoever's been in charge with them, they've always tried to play the game the right way, I think. And given their recruitment over the summer, they are a dangerous side. So it's not just Newcastle turning up there on Sunday and expecting 3 points. We have to go and earn it.
100%. It's going to be an intense atmosphere with a small ground closed in. Bournemouth have got some dangerous players. They've got speed out wide. They caused us no end of problems last season. Semenyo and Kluivert and the rattiness of Ryan Christie in the middle. It's going to be a hard game. But if we go out and do our jobs properly, it's a game I think we can win.
The team lineup for me is going to be the key point. Of course, Fabian Schar is missing from the game with a suspension. So, we immediately turn to who Eddie will pick as the other centre-back. Will it be Emil Kraft? Will it be Lloyd Kelly?
No.
Okay, well, look, for me, I think Lloyd Kelly's got to start. I think he's a better centre-back than Emil Kraft, although, like I said before, Emil's done nothing wrong. He comes in, he's solid, he does a job. But there's a reason why we brought Lloyd Kelly in, and this is the moment
not
to start.
To play right-sided centre-half.
But why? Just because he's left-footed. It's how
they play. It's
I
how
know,
they
but
play.
It's a fallacy to me, this thing that a left-footed player can't play a right centre
Look,
back.
he may
It's
do.
bollocks.
He may do. He's put Fabian Schar as left-sided centre half, and it's worked fine.
Yeah.
But they do have a big thing about 2 left footers on the left, 2 right footers on the right to allow extra passing options to build out. It's just something that they've tried to build, and they proved that with their recruitment.
Yeah.
I agree with you. It doesn't mean he can't do it, but we've been shown so far that he probably won't do that.
Yeah.
He could surprise us, but it's probably going to be Kraft.
He always surprises us, whether it be a positive surprise
It's very possible.
or a weird one. Channel Right, thank you for your super chat. He's must start Murphy and Kelly. I think Murphy will play. I think Murphy will play, Sam. I don't see any reason why he would drop Murphy and bring Miggy in, because Murphy didn't exactly get a good run out on Saturday. So he's obviously he's Eddie's first choice ahead of Miggy. So there's no reason why he would drop him.
I would be disgusted if Murphy didn't get the start and Miggy came in. I think he was an absolute champion, how he just knew straight away what he needed to do and, take himself off with his head held high to bring Kraft on. So I was very happy. I think he's had a great pre-season, Murphy. I know that we can usually tell, well, Billy always calls it by his first touch of the game, but he has to start for sure.
The Council Estate kid says Hall would come out for me and I would play Kelly there. Still a bit early for Hall.
It's a shout.
I know, but how long are we saying it's too early for Hall? Hall's there.
Hall's
I mean,
proven for me. Yeah,
I think he's stuck at left back. It's an interesting one because he could play Kelly there.
Kelly's more defensively experienced and would allow you
absolutely.
to drop into that back 3 shape and let Livramento do things.
But we don't want to spend the game on defence, though. We want to go at them.
But we use that in an offensive shape. That's what I mean. Is we would drop into a back 3 and Livramento would go and join Murphy up top.
Yeah.
And it would work quite well, to be fair. But then you're losing the creativity of Lewis Hall.
Gary Clark, thank you for your super chat. Bournemouth will challenge for Europe. Be careful.
There's a chance of it if they avoid injuries.
Yeah. Ray, thank you for another super chat. Would you 4 be happy with Trips going on loan?
Not for me.
No.
I'd rather
Absolutely
take a fee for him, to be honest. But it is, I mean, they are talking loan.
No.
Where was that? 2 seconds. I've seen it. No, it's gone. It's gone. Well, so many bloody comments coming. I can't keep track of them all. Lilypad Gaming says Hall is very good, but very susceptible, dropping a bollock. Yeah, but that's how he learns, though, isn't it? I think, in fairness to Lewis Hall, if he makes a mistake, Sam, he learns from it. He's a very young kid, and he still needs that little bit of rawness ironed out.
Absolutely. And, these players are not infallible. They are going to make mistakes. I think the thing about Hall is when we do see an error on the pitch, he almost immediately makes up for it, almost immediately, every single time he plays. So I don't have a concern. Hall must start for me, but not a shadow of a doubt.
Right. Well, let's take a look at Bournemouth, Alex, because, like you've said, there's a lot to discuss about Bournemouth. Evermore, good evening, buddies. Go and check their channel out. Big friends of the channel. Hall is an attacking left back. Being brave on the ball always leads to losing possession. Yeah, good shout. Okay, Alex, let us know what to expect.
So this was their lineup against Forest, which I think was a 1-1 draw. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, it was. Who scored? Oh, Semenyo. Yeah, there he is. So this was their shape in a 4-2-3-1. Obviously, Huijsen is one of the new ones. Neto in goal is nice and experienced. Lewis Cook, who's been there for a long time. Alex Scott, who we know very well, who's the youngster from Bristol. Although you're not supposed to say Bristol because there's 2 clubs. We will say City. Luis Sinisterra is yet to hit the heights he was supposed to. Is a fantastic player, though, and I think he will... He should explode at some point. He's got to. Me and Ryan watched him when he was in Feyenoord a couple of times a few years back when we were linked with him, and he was a fantastic player. Semenyo leading the line. Obviously, Dom Solanke had departed by that point. And Marcus Tavernier playing in behind the striker definitely progressed in his football. So dangerous to say the least. It's a good starting 11.
He's a little shit and all, isn't he, Tavernier?
Well,
he is a little. Alex Scott's a good player as well. Let's not forget when he was at Bristol City, there was a lot of talk about him moving into the Premier League.
Sinisterra's data looks like that.
Wow.
And Alex Scott's, the Guernsey boy, is Mr. Ball progression and Mr. Works hard off the ball with all the defensive output, and actually profiles like Ryan Christie, Stach, who's at Hoffenheim, who is fantastic, and Joe Linton in number 3. So very good company there for them. But there is depth. An average age of 25.2 at the starting 11. And then if we scroll down, there's a silly video. Let's get rid of that. You've got Araujo, who's coming from Barcelona, Ryan Christie, Justin Kluivert as well. Somehow on the bench is fantastic. You've got Billing, who's not even playing. And this doesn't include the new signings either, or some of them. So they have got depth that it's definitely improved. Transfers this summer, Ivan Nilsson in for 35 million euros.
He's expected to start on Sunday as well.
I've got him up somewhere. There he is. Ivan Nilsson apparently doesn't have a picture on FBref for whatever reason, but he does have, 4 or 5 names, so he makes up for it. There's his data. 2,000 minutes. It is in the next 14 leagues. If we scroll down and have a look at how he did in Portugal. Last season, 25 starts, 13 goals, 3 assists. Not bad. He's 25. He should be coming into he's halfway between youngster and peak, isn't he? He's in that sort of funny 25-year-old age bracket. And they've got more. The Araujo, we've talked about him from Barcelona, is a fantastic pickup. Huijsen as well in from Juventus. They've also got Enis Unal, who they made that permanent deal. He was on loan last year, 17 million from Getafe. And Sinisterra has joined on a permanent as well because he was on loan last season. So they have strengthened the first team, the depth. There are loads more players in this squad. And it's a little bit scary, to be fair. I was going to show you their data from last season, but I don't think it's as important because they've made a lot of changes. Let's go to last year. So the data was meh. They were very mid-table or just under mid-table for a lot. XG of 11 with Dom Solanke up front. Goals conceded wasn't great. But again, they've strengthened in the correct areas. They've strengthened with goals and they've improved their defense as well. So I would fully expect them to kick on from this. Where did they finish last season? I can't even remember. Can anybody else? Can we see last season's table?
12th,
nope. We'll have to have a look on here. We'll be able to see it. They finished 12th. Yeah, good shout, Billy. Yeah. So 54 goals scored, 67 conceded. They did lose the final 3 games of the season. They've had an okay preseason. They actually beat Girona as well. So the day they played us, they actually sent the other half of their squad to Bournemouth to play against Bournemouth, and Bournemouth beat them 3-2. They beat Rayo Vallecano as well in preseason. So that I definitely expect them. I can't remember where I predicted them or where we all predicted Bournemouth to finish in our preseason results. However, I do feel like they should be able to kick on from 12th. They've recruited well enough to do so. Of course, teams around them have also recruited, but they definitely haven't stood still. They've recruited really, really well. They have a really balanced starting 11 with options. You know, you could very easily put Araujo in this team. You could have Kluivert in here, Ivan Nilsson up front. Ryan Christie can go in this team as well. There's lots you can add, lots you can change depending on the opponent, which is obviously us. So
Philip
Billing could go in there. They've got a lot they could change. They've got a bit of depth. They're not bad at all. Again, they're going to have a good season to finish inside the top 10, but it's balanced. It's nice and balanced with a lot of quality. They've got youngsters coming through as well. Sinisterra's under 25. Tavernier's under 25. Alex Scott is still really young as well. Semenyo's 24. Evan Nilsson, who's coming, is 25. They've got a young profile of players. The recruitment's good. The style of football is good. The manager's good. They've built a cracking foundation for the Premier League. It's just a shame that the stadium is only 11,000 capacity. But apart from that, everything else is looking really smart for Bournemouth as a football club. And we are going to have to play good football. They're not going to be a pushover. They're physical. They're technical. They've got pacey on the break as well. They're creative. We're going to have to throw the big guns at them, and we're going to have to play a good match because we're not going to win otherwise.
Interesting question from Evermore, actually. Could Willock do a job on the right wing if we don't sign anybody? I mean,
Interesting.
I guess he could because he's left-footed. He fits the profile, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
Is he left-footed? I think he's right-footed, isn't he?
He's right-footed.
Yeah, maybe he is right-footed.
I don't know.
We not have experimented more with that in pre-season, though.
Well, I don't know. I think if we don't get anybody in, I mean, is he pacey enough, Sam? Do you think, to play that role?
Absolutely, he's got the creativity. I think he's had a huge confidence knock last season, but I think he's certainly capable of doing a job. I think if it was in Eddie's plans, then we may have already seen some experimentation in some less risky games, should we say? So I probably can't see it, but I don't think it's a bad shout at all.
Martin saying there that obviously these are the clubs where Trippier is involved. Atalanta, Galatasaray. The West Ham one's strange because they've just signed Wan-Bissaka, haven't they? And I think they were looking at Trippier if they didn't sign Wan-Bissaka, but they've signed Wan-Bissaka, which means why would they then go for Trippier? Yeah, a strange one, but maybe they will. Maybe
he's
they
not
will.
Going from our bench to theirs, is he?
No, he wants first team football. Yeah. That's the general gist of what we're hearing as to why he wants to move. But let's move to Newcastle United now, Alex. If you can get the there you go. So, is this what you think, Alex?
I think it's probably what Eddie thinks as well.
Oh. That's what I think too.
It's basically unchanged, but Emil Kraft is in for Fabian Schar. Unless he gets experimental with Lloyd Kelly, of course, which is possible.
Do we not see Eddie maybe trying different things this season instead of the same 4-3-3s? Maybe he tries to...
I think he needs Tonali back in to do that. I think, yes, 100% he's open to different formation changes, but a lot of that stems from how the midfield sets up and operates, which is dependent on a more talented midfielder. Sorry, Sean. But when Tonali comes back in, we can then experiment with more because he did it in the first preseason when we got Tonali. He tried different shapes. We've not really done that since, unless we have to just drop into a back five because we're getting battered.
And he never really had a chance to get it going with Tonali, did he? And tried different things with Tonali because as soon as he tried different things, the suspension kicked in. So, I mean, Tonali, I'm going to say it, will be like a new signing.
He will, 100%.
So it's a strong lineup, that though, isn't it? I mean, let's be fair. I mean, Emil Kraft, he's no sort of Baresi, but he comes in and he does a job and goes about it quietly, Sam, doesn't he, Emil Kraft?
Yeah, absolutely. Quite reliable. We've seen him make some mistakes, but we've also seen him being a fantastic squad player for depth. So I'm not angry of Kraft coming in. We're in a position where we need the role filled because of what Schar's antics last weekend. So yeah, he's going to come in and do a job for us. Would I like to see Kelly get some minutes and Burn subbed off at some point? Yeah, absolutely. I think we need to open that up and let him get some minutes in.
Dare I say he could move Dan Burn left back and play Lloyd Kelly in the middle?
No, other way around. Got to be the other way around.
I know. I'm just putting it there.
I think that's the bench as well, potentially. I can't remember how many you're allowed on your bench, but
7. Peter Garthwaite, thank you for your super chat. Sky Sports reporting Villa want Raheem Sterling on loan.
Well, of course,
it's a very Villa signing, isn't it?
I'm calling it now. Trippier will not be on the bench on Sunday, Alex.
So you think Trippier dropped out of that?
I don't think he'd be on the bench. And I mean, look, I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm just thinking with if it's true what's kicking off today that he wants out, then why put him on the bench? It doesn't make any sense. That could open the door for a Sanusi maybe on the bench.
No, there's not enough room. There's not enough room. You need Dubravka. You need a goal. Okay, I'll take that back. You need a goalkeeper.
Please reverse that comment.
You need a goalkeeper of some description that's not Gillespie, preferably. So Dubravka, Barnes are 2 absolute shoe-ins. You would imagine Kelly as the first defensive option on that bench. I mean, Target isn't essential because Kelly can do both roles. So I wouldn't put him as a definite shoe-in. these three. I mean, how many can we have? Did you say 7? Well, it's probably this 7.
Is
then.
it 7 or 8? I don't know. 9 players.
Or is it 9 players?
9, yeah.
Don't even know anymore. Everything keeps changing.
Well,
we could have more than
maybe
this, then.
Harrison Ashby comes in on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, what youngsters have we got? You got Jamie Miley. You've got Ashby. I think Joe White's still got a knock. Sanusi. Anybody else? Probably not Jamal Lewis.
You know you're going to put the goalkeeper on the bench, don't you?
Oh,
yeah, he'll probably stick Vlahovic on the bench. But yeah, maybe Jamie Miley, Ashby, and Sanusi are the ones in rotation to maybe make the bench, or Trippier, or just more goalkeepers, like you said.
I mean,
Who
look,
knows?
if Newcastle come out and quash all this Trippier once away, then he'd be on the bench. But if he's not on the bench on Sunday, and Newcastle haven't said anything, yeah, my arse. You know, if the club stay quiet and then he's not on the bench on Sunday, I think we can read a lot into that.
Yeah, it's going to be telling.
Going into the final week of the window. But I would like to see the likes of Sanusi on the bench and you know, getting those first team experiences.
Do you know what I'd love? I would love Trippier to be on the bench and to walk out and give Eddie Howe a big hug in front of the cameras, just to shut everyone up. It would be hilarious.
Or to come on in the last 5 minutes and get the winner. And then Eddie Howe,
and then run straight to Eddie Howe and jump on him, and and then everybody's just like,
and he's riding Eddie Howe like a buckaroo.
And then find that fan in the crowd that was there last year. And
yeah. Dan Kane's mentioning Alfie Harrison, of course, as well.
Oh, yeah. Where is he? I've lost him. I think I put him over this side. There he is.
Yeah. So he's an option as well. Look, isn't it great that we can do this as opposed to last season when we were scraping the bench? We were scraping the first 11. Never mind
just
the
no one, was there?
This is a good problem to have.
But again, I mean, there's no doubt in my eyes that the midfield is going to be spearheaded by Joe Linton and Bruno. You know, Sean will hopefully continue the way he played on Saturday, because I thought he did a job. And then the front three, of course, I expect much bigger things from Anthony Gordon. I thought he was poor on Saturday. But we all know what he's capable of. So I do think we can. I'm a little worried about the defence, I have to say.
There is one point, by the way. Matty makes a really good point about, of course, it is Lloyd Kelly's former club. Does that influence Kelly maybe being involved from the start because of reasons tactically that he knows or doesn't know? Or because I'm sure Eddie surely is going to have a chat with Lloyd about this. He's got to.
Well, I would imagine so, and see where his head's at. But you know, he's moved to a different club now. It doesn't, you know.
But
for
when
all
did he join us?
July 1st, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Players out. Was it July the 1st? Lloyd Kelly joined us on. Well, I mean, it says June the 13th. It wasn't that. It was definitely the start of July, wasn't it? So yeah, Lloyd Kelly's probably not been privy to all the recent pre-season tactics and changes and.
Dr. House, thank you for your super chat. Sanusi is looking a great talent. Love the channel. Thank you, Dr. House. Much appreciated. I think we're all agreed on that first 11, although I would love to see Kelly come in. I have to say, I do worry about that back line, especially. I mean, I don't know how it came across, you know, on the cameras on Saturday, Billy, but when me and Alex, you know, they just looked all over the place in that first 20 minutes.
Yeah. Then Schar went off, Croft come on, and we just battled. But for those saying that Lewis,
so that's the kind of player he is, isn't he? He's a battler along with Dan Burn.
For those saying that the Kelly should start at the right side of centre back, why didn't Eddie Howe bring him on last week when Schar got sent off? Because he wanted to keep that balance. So Croft will definitely start. That's the lineup for me. I don't see any changes whatsoever. So and I think we've got enough up front. I've got to say, I think they might attack us, but I see no reason why we can't score goals also.
But we did look. I just worry. I do worry. You know, I know Kraft is a battler. I don't know.
I mean, on the flip side, Paul, you would expect Bruno to have a better game and Gordon to have a better game. So and potentially even Lewis Hall in a couple of areas and Livramento. I would expect 2 or 3 people to have better games than they
And
did.
of course, we'll have 11 players on the pitch, hopefully, for all of the games.
Hopefully, there's
Fingers crossed.
You know, and Murphy will hopefully play a big part as well. You know, it all depends. You know, Billy mentioned this a lot last season. It all depends on Murphy's first 10 minutes. You can see how Murphy's going to play in the first 10 minutes of the game. You know, I used to laugh when Billy used to say that, but it's really true. If he has a dodgy start, he's normally dog for the rest of the game. But if he does something good in the first 10 minutes, you can expect a very good game from Jacob Murphy. It's bizarre, but it did happen quite a few times.
It's David Coote, I think.
David
It is
Coote.
David Coote, yeah.
Who's VAR?
I don't know. It doesn't say. How do you find that out?
I've seen it.
Will it be
David Coote, of course, was the referee in the cup final, wasn't he? Manchester United supporter.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're all Man United fans, aren't they? Let's be honest. They're all Manchester
Just out of
United.
curiosity, last time we played Bournemouth, who did we have out injured?
About 15 players, I think.
Bruno's definitely out. I think Isak was out. I think Wilson may have been out because we played with Joe Linton up front, didn't we?
Yeah, we had about 10 players out for ages.
We did. We were really injury stricken at the time. So I don't know whether part of my nervousness here is sort of like a bit of PTSD looking back at, you know, the struggles that we've had last time, the gravity of the game, Eddie's last club. Is that maybe playing into the mindset a little bit? I understand that they've strengthened and we haven't had, the miraculous Tadar start to the season that we would have wanted, but we might just clinch it if we turn up. Okay. We might just.
I'm looking at David Coote's appearances. I don't care about you. I care about ball. Bloody hell! Drop the ball there. I was wondering why I couldn't find our fixture.
Here we go in the chat. Georgia, Tim Robinson, VAR. Thank you.
Oh, nice.
Who's Tim Robinson?
Tommy. What, Tommy?
Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll be on the right wing then.
Right. So this was our 2-0 loss. Where we didn't do great. So how did we actually started that game?
Yeah, we were rotten, by the way.
It's not a bad starting 11, to be fair.
We've got no striker on the picture either, have we? And it showed.
Yeah, it was Gordon. Who was on the bench? Richie. Oh God. Okay, Parkinson got half an hour. Okay, we really were stretched, weren't we?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay. 2 goalkeepers.
He came off injured after half an hour as well.
And Matt Ritchie played an hour. Ben Parkinson came on for half an hour, and Ben Parkinson looks young this year. So last year, I can't even remember what he was playing.
I mean, he took Lewis Hall off, and according to them marks, he was our best defender. Took him off at half time, brought Livramento on, and then proceeded to swap Livramento and Trippier about 6 times, didn't he? Remember, Paul?
Yeah. We saw that a few times last season, though, didn't we? Lewis Hall yanked off at half time for no apparent reason, but he's in a very different.
Yanked off at half time.
But that bench.
I knew you'd pick on the ball now, Billy. I don't know. I just knew.
Just a sense, yeah.
But the bench now, Richie and 2 goalkeepers and Ben Parkinson, whereas now we've got actual players to come on.
We've got a big, much stronger squad, but to be fair, so have they. Right, it's score prediction time. So I'm getting my little book out again because we have a little league going on this season, of course, for predictions. Now, last week, Sam, what did you go for last week? Because you weren't on the show. You say 1-0 and I'll cut you off.
Does it matter? No, I think it was 4-1. I think I said.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So, by the way, we were all way off. I was actually closest with 3-0. So, yeah.
I think you have to adjust the scoreline because of the red card. So, 1-0 with a red card is like 5-0, isn't it? So,
yeah.
Oh, just happens to be the score that you said, Alex. Yeah.
Oh, was it? Oh,
yeah. Unbelievable. Did that just slip your mind, Alex, for just a couple of seconds there? Christ on a bike. Right. Sam, your score prediction.
2-1. I'm being optimistic. I say we turn up. Gordon's done some meditation this week and got his mind in the right place. And we've got Joe Linton, who's going to go into beast mode again. And Bruno got there by the second half. So I'm being very optimistic here.
Okay. Alex. Why is it whenever we do score predictions and we come to ask Alex, there's always that sort of just moment of silence?
No one can breathe right now. How, Alex?
I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for us, but I was umming and ahhing about even to predict us a 1-0 loss. To be honest, I am concerned about this game with how we played last game on the ball. I know we battled well and Joelinton got us out of the mud, but I'm a little bit concerned about this one. It is away. We really struggled against Bournemouth. They're a good side, much better than a lot of people give them credit for.
Can I just say though, I know what you're saying, okay? But if we want to be or class ourselves as finishing in the top 4 this season, then surely we have to be looking without any disrespect to Bournemouth.
I agree with you.
We have to be looking to
I agree. I'm just going
games.
on last weekend's performance and who's available, what we look like at the moment, what Bournemouth. I'm judging this fixture. I'm not going to judge everything else. I'm just judging the last couple of weeks, who's fit. And I am concerned about this game. I do think when we're fully firing, we can beat anybody on our day. But we don't look like we're fully firing at the moment. There looks like there's a couple of wobbles with players in, players out, and it's a little bit concerning. I'll go with 2-1 for us to win. I do think we'll concede. I think we might even concede first. I think they might even go 1-0 up. And I think it'll be character and a hard fight to try and get that victory, and we'll win 2-1. But
well, there's a lot. I have to say,
it.
there's a lot of confidence in the chat that we're winning this game. Billy Bob,
I think there'll be goals. I'll be honest. I think I'll go with my head and a little bit of heart on top. My head says 2-2 with a little bit of heart on top. I'll say 3-2 Newcastle.
Okay, 3-2. Okay. I'm going 4-2 Newcastle.
Way.
What should be fucking 0-0 now?
You guaranteed that'll happen, Billy. To be fair, but
Who you scorers, Paul?
I think Isak's going to get 2. I think Joelinton will get 1, and Miggy will come off the bench and score.
Oh, sod off! You, the COVID's taken hold. The COVID has truly taken hold.
Maybe it's the medication. I don't know, but maybe it is. But listen, I do agree with Billy. I think there'll be goals. I think it'll be an end-to-end game because Bournemouth, it's their first home game of the season. They will want to get off to a good start. They will attack us. But I think that we, as we've said earlier on in the show, I think we've got a lot going the other way as well. I think a lot will boil down to how our centre-backs play. And hopefully the 2 full-backs just get on with what they're good at. But I do think that going forward, we can hurt them. And if we stay strong, but it's going to be, I think it's going to be a good game of football on Sunday. I'm really looking forward to commentating on it. It's going to be a good game. And I think there's going to be a lot of goals and hopefully more in Newcastle's favour because you can't win a game, guys, without putting the ball in the net.
Correct.
So it's who knows? But anyway, tomorrow will be interesting. We've got Eddie Howe's press conference. We'll have reaction to that at 11:30 on our Friday morning live show with me and Billy Bob. Are you around in the morning, Sam? Or are you? Yeah, well, probably.
I might be if you want some entertainment. I can come on in the morning.
Jesus Christ! She'll have her hair will be up here. And,
when is it not already?
Well, I mean, you've got the fringe going on there tonight.
Will not be joining.
No, Alex will be driving. Gary Clark, thank you to your super chat. Yes to Miggy, good advertising.
No.
Good thinking. Yeah. It's win the job, isn't it? Get him to score a goal. Piss off.
Now, tomorrow night, there might be a show, but there also might not be, depending on my COVID situation. If I still have COVID tomorrow, I've tested today, I'm still positive. If I'm here, then me and Billy will do a show tomorrow night, TTR Friday, and we'll have a little bit of a fan forum in that as well. And of course, Sunday is Matchday Live. It's a 2:00 kickoff, so we will go live from 1:30. bringing you the best build up to the game with the team news, etc., and then see how you're feeling, followed by full play-by-play commentary of the game. So there you go.
The best play-by-play.
The best commentary of the game.
By
Of course. Yes. Over 4,000 watching our last live commentary, which was incredible. I think we hit record numbers, and we'll be looking to do that again. So join us for that. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. Thank you for all your super chats and memberships. Are you going to say something, Alex?
I'm trying to, yeah. I'm saying
on,
that I'm up this weekend. So I'm up for the whole weekend. And I'm going to try and see if I can persuade the wife to stay on Sunday so we can watch the game up there as well. So come and say hi.
You got Monday off, though?
It's bank holiday, mate.
Oh, so
it's bank holiday. Yeah, it's bank holiday Monday, Billy.
Every day's bank holiday for me.
Oh dear. And by the way, if anyone wants to donate some inflatable seats and cushions for Billy and the rest of the team on deadline day,
all dolls will be accepted.
Oh, hey, let's sit on that.
well, Jesus.
I just watched Fools and Horses earlier.
Oh, what a classic that
Right,
is.
I have to say I didn't expect that comment, and I should. I should already know. Indeed. Thank you very much, guys, for your super chats and memberships. Much appreciated. Mods, thank you again. And thank you, of course, to Alex, Billy, and Lady Sam. Have a great rest of your evening, folks. Don't forget to hit the like button. And, of course, if you're new, do subscribe. We do have a Facebook group as well if you want to go across on the Facebook and join that. We've had 400 members or something in the last 3 days, which is incredible. We're on Instagram as well, and X and all, TikTok and all that kind of thing. So please do. Oh, by the way, Marino's just agreed to move to Arsenal.
Great signing for Arsenal. Great signing for Arsenal.
Oh,
let's hope he don't get homesick again. Look at him when we had him.
Yeah, I know. I don't think he will this time, though. He's a bit older now, isn't he? By the way, just to let you know that all these live shows are now on a podcast on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcasts. They're normally up around about an hour after the show finishes. So it's just to let people know that they are there. So if you have that and you like to listen in the car or walking the dog or having a poo, whatever it may be, just stick your headphones in and you can listen to our dulcet tones if you missed any of the show. But thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your night, folks, and we will see you tomorrow. In the meantime, good night.
How are the lads and lasses?
Come back and check out the green.